Hi all, welcome back to DannyBTalks. Today, we're diving into our breakdown of the 2025 EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas, marking NASCAR's first road course battle of the season. And this race sure was a roller coaster from start to finish, offering us a masterclass of driving from all of our contenders. From a brand new track layout to chaotic restarts and some serious road course ringers flexing their skills, this race certainly had it all in my opinion. Real quick though, if you enjoy my channel and want to help me out, the easiest way to do that is just by liking the video. I've been trying really hard to just get back to giving you guys at least one video a week this season, and well, the problem is YouTube doesn't like showing my channel as much as it used to. Honestly, liking the video is the easiest way to help me out and make sure that more eyes are getting a chance to see what we're doing over here on DannyBTalks. Alright, so enough of that, let's set the stage for this weekend's race. This was the third race of the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season, following chaotic races on the super speedways of Daytona and Atlanta, so this was definitely a refreshing sight to be seen for NASCAR fans. Circuit of the Americas brought a totally different flavor this time with a technical 2.3 mile course layout down from the 3.41 mile full circuit we've seen in the years past. Let's talk some more about this new layout. NASCAR and Speedway Motorsports switched to what they refer to as the National Course to pack in more racing action to the crowd in attendance, going from 68 laps to 95 laps, and this definitely accounted for more to be seen in a crazy build-up to the finish. The biggest change comes in turns 6A and 6B. Coming out of the S's, drivers had to slam on the brakes, dive left around the tire barrier, and wrestled their cars through this tight, narrow section, and in a race we saw absolute chaos. Restarts were a mess, dive bombs left and right, and passing was tough but possible if you nailed your exit. What did you guys think of this change? Drop it in the comments. I'm kind of torn between loving the intensity this change creates, but also missing that old, longer stretch on the old configuration. Tyler Reddick grabbed the pole award for Sunday, locking down the front row for 2311 Racing alongside his teammate Bubba Wallace. The Toyota speed presented was no fluke. They've been strong at COTA before, and Reddick's 2023 win here had him eyed as a betting favorite going in, but the road course elites like Shane Van Gisbergen, AJ Allmendinger, and even debut rookie Connor Zilisch were ready to shake things up. SVG did lead a fair amount of this race at the start, but in the end he was not the car to beat in this one, and while Connor Zilisch did dominate and win the race on Saturday, he unfortunately had an early exit after an unfortunate hit with his teammate Daniel Suarez. Meanwhile, Oval aces such as William Byron and Christopher Bell, fresh off their wins at Daytona and Atlanta, were showcasing why they are at the pinnacle of stock car racing, as they were in the mix all day long. But the real shocker to me was Kyle Busch, who led the most laps of the race at 42. But towards the end, his car speed couldn't outmatch a charge by Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Tyler Reddick. Oddly enough, a caution brought out when his teammate Austin Dillon spun out may have very well costed Busch the win, as it bunched him back up and gave them a chance to hunt Kyle Busch down. Now let's talk about that run up to the finish once more. Kyle Busch was once again looking like we were seeing a glimpse of the old Kyle Busch that we once knew. In fact, he is way better than I realized here at Circuit of the Americas. If we look just at his stats since joining RCR, Kyle Busch has finished 2nd, 9th, and now 5th at Circuit of the Americas. But you have to remember a caveat to that 9th place finish last year. He was looking to do well in that one until contact between he and Christopher Bell messed that run up some. And afterwards, he was very cross at Christopher Bell last year, leaving Bell visibly disturbed at what he saw from Kyle Busch. That plays a big factor from the outcome of this race. Bell had been charging for a while, and once he finally got around last year's winner William Byron, there was just one more car in his way, the veteran Kyle Busch, who was eager as ever to snap that winless streak. Kyle Busch was doing everything he possibly could do with 6 laps to go, trying to make every block count as much as he possibly could. At one point, Kyle Busch thought he had outsmarted Bell, making Bell miss his entry going into turn 1. But in no time, he closed that gap once again. But the real dagger for Kyle Busch? Contact between he and Bell. You see smoke go up from their tires, and Bell's car was okay, but Busch's car was pretty much toast. And in no time, he went from 1st to 5th when the race finished. And the race was all Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Tyler Reddick. as Christopher Bell outclassed the other two, and Christopher Bell now has his second win in as many races. It was his first win at Circuit of the Americas, and oddly enough, the respective last two winners at COTA helped bring up this 1-2-3 finish in the respective order of who won the last three season races here. As for Kyle Busch, he acknowledged the contact between he and the 20 may have been the biggest thing that costed him a win once again. He's close. He is oh so close. But it just seems that whenever something is now going right for Kyle Busch, it's almost just expected now that something will go wrong and prevent him from going back to a Cup Series victory lane. But he did praise Christopher Bell for the way he raced him this year, saying it was a well fought and clean finish. And I agree with that. Definitely a much better outcome between Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell this season. And Kyle even paid a visit to congratulate Bell in victory lane. The big picture after COTA, this race was exactly what we needed to see as NASCAR fans. A true masterclass in driving, reminding us why we have the very best drivers in NASCAR racing on Sundays, putting on a memorable battle here at the end. And after the super speedway chaos that resulted in cautions and no cautions bringing questionable results to the races, COTA finished under green, and we got an overall great race this weekend. The new national course COTA configuration brought us tighter racing, greater and more precise passing opportunities, and a fresh challenge with the repave and tire barrier setups. Did the shorter layout work for you, or are we begging for the full course back in 2026? Let me know what you guys think down below. That's all for me after the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Circuit of the Americas. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed my rundown and if you're hyped for the remainder of the season. Subscribe for more NASCAR videos from me here on DannyBTalks, and ring the bell button so you don't miss a thing. Next up, we're headed to the first race of the season at Phoenix Raceway. I don't personally agree with the idea of racing at the championship track twice a year, as I feel it gives teams too much of a competitive advantage, even if it is only the fourth race of the season. I feel your championship track also needs to be more special and prized than that. But regardless, that's where we are headed next. In related news, Katherine Legge will be racing for BJ McLeod and Live Fast Racing this weekend, in a move that seemingly came out of left field for most fans. Some are wondering how this deal came together, with some critics comparing it to the Mike Wallace situation at Daytona. Personally, I do not see that as a remotely fair comparison. 44-year-old racer from England has a wide background in road course racing and time racing in IndyCar, but she did compete in the ARCA Menard Series race at Daytona earlier in this season, but she only lasted 3 laps in that outcome. However, her sponsors Droplight and Sharefit companies have joined on to fund this weekend's race for her at Phoenix. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see how this goes. For Live Fast, they're not a full-time car anymore, so anytime someone is willing to pay for your car to be fielded in the race, it's kind of a no-brainer to make it happen. Regardless though, Legge's appearance will be kind of historic now, as she becomes the first woman to start in the NASCAR Cup Series in 7 years since Danica Patrick last raced in the 2018 Daytona 500. We'll be talking about this and a whole lot more as we get you set up for this weekend's race at Phoenix on NWP this week, as we are on Eric Estep's channel this week on Wednesday night at 8 Eastern Time, 7 Central Time. We're also going to take plenty of time and talk about the Xfinity Series race on Saturday. Much as I praise our Sunday drivers, these guys coming up in that series are starting to capture our attention. But until next time, this is Danny B, and I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. Bye guys.